Deuteronomy 30. Good comes to those who return to the Lord. When all these things have come upon you, the good things and the curses which I have told you about, you will remember them in all the nations where the Lord your God has sent you. When you and your children return to the Lord your God and obey him with all your heart and soul by all I have told you today, the Lord your God will have you return from where you were held. He will have loving pity for you. He will gather you again from all the nations where the Lord your God has sent you, even if you are driven to the ends of the earth. The Lord your God will gather you and bring you back. The Lord your God will bring you into the land your fathers lived in, and it will be yours. He will bring good to you and make you more in number than your fathers. The Lord your God will take away the sin from your heart and from the heart of your children. You will love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, so you may live. Then the Lord your God will send all these curses upon those who hate you and upon those who made it hard for you. You will obey the Lord again and keep all his laws which I tell you today, and the Lord your God will bring much good upon all the work you do, and upon your children, and the young of your cattle, and the food of your field. For the Lord will again be happy to bring good to you, just as he was happy with your fathers. But you must obey the Lord your God to keep his laws which are written in this book of the law. You must turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and soul. Life or death. For this law I give you today is not too hard for you or too far from you. It is not in heaven. You do not need to say, who will go up to heaven for us and bring it down to make us hear it, so we may obey it. It is not farther than the sea. You do not need to say, who will cross the sea for us and bring it to us to make us hear it, so we may obey it. But the word is very near. The word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may obey. See, I have put it in front of you today, life and what is good, and death and what is bad. I tell you today to love the Lord your God, walk in his ways, keep all his laws and all that he has decided. Then you will live and become many, and the Lord your God will bring good to you in the land you are going in to take. But if your heart turns away and you will not obey, but leave to worship other gods and serve them, I tell you today that you will die for sure. You will not live long in that land across the Jordan which you are about to take for your own. I call heaven and earth to speak against you today. I have put in front of you life and death, the good and the curse. So choose life, so you and your children after you may live. Love the Lord your God and obey him and obey his voice. Hold on to him, for he is your life, and by him your days will be long. You will be allowed to live in the land the Lord promised to give your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Joshua is the new leader. Then Moses spoke these words to all Israel. He said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to come and go, and the Lord has told me, you will not cross this Jordan. The Lord your God himself will cross before you. He will destroy these nations in front of you, and you will take their place. Joshua will cross before you also, as the Lord has said. The Lord will do the same to them that he did to Sihon and to Og and the kings of the Amorites, and to their land when he destroyed them. The Lord will give them to you. Then you will do to them as I have told you. Be strong and have strength of heart. Do not be afraid or shake with fear because of them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you. He will be faithful to you. He will not leave you alone. Then Moses called Joshua and said to him in front of all Israel, Be strong and have strength of heart, for you will go with this people into the land the Lord has promised to their fathers to give them, and you will bring them in to take it. The Lord is the one who goes before you. He will be with you. He will be faithful to you and will not leave you alone. Do not be afraid or troubled. Reading of the law every 7 years. So Moses wrote this law and gave it to the religious leaders, the son of Levi, who carried the special box of the law of the Lord, and to all the leaders of Israel. Then Moses told them, at the end of every 7 years, at the time when money owed is done away with, at the special supper of tents, when all Israel comes to stand before the Lord your God at the place he will choose, you must read this law so all Israel will hear it. Gather together the people in your town, the men and the women, the children and the stranger, so they may hear and learn and fear the Lord your God. Be careful to obey all the words of this law. Then their children who have not known it will hear and learn to fear the Lord your God as long as you live in the land you are crossing the Jordan to take. The Lord's last words to Moses. The Lord said to Moses, See, the time for you to die is near. Call Joshua and go to the meeting tent so I may tell him what to do. So Moses and Joshua went to the meeting tent. The Lord showed himself in a pillar of cloud which stayed at the door of the tent. And the Lord said to Moses, See, you will soon die and be with your fathers. Then these people will soon act like a woman who sells the use of her body. They will follow the strange gods of the land where you are going. They will turn away from me and break my agreement which I have made with them. Then my anger will burn against them. I will leave them alone and hide my face from them, and they will be destroyed. Many hard things and big troubles will come upon them. So they will say in that day, Have not these troubles come upon us because our God is not with us? But I will hide my face in that day because of all the sinful things they will do, for they will turn to other gods. So write this song for yourselves. Teach it to the people of Israel. Put it in their lips so this song may speak for me against all the people of Israel. For when I bring them into the land flowing with milk and honey, which I promised to their fathers, and they eat and are filled and have become rich, they will turn to other gods and serve them. They will turn against me and break my agreement. When many hard things and big troubles come upon them, this song will speak for me against them. It will not be forgotten from the lips of their children and their children's children. I know the plans they are making today before I have brought them into the land I promised them. So Moses wrote this song the same day and taught it to the people of Israel. Then the Lord said to Joshua the son of Nun, Be strong and have strength of heart, for you will bring the people of Israel into the land I promised, and I will be with you. Moses wrote the words of this law in a book from beginning to end. Then Moses said to the Levites who carried the special box of the law of the Lord, Take this book of the law and put it beside the special box of the law of the Lord your God. It will be there to speak against you, for I know how strong your will is and what you do not want to obey. For I know how strong your will is and that you do not want to obey. See, while I am still alive with you today, you have gone against the Lord. How much worse it will be after my death. Gather together and bring to me all the leaders and heads of your families. I will speak these words to them and call heaven and earth to speak against them. For I know that after my death you will sin and turn away from the way I have told you. Much trouble will come to you in the days to come. For you will do what is sinful in the eyes of the Lord. You will make him angry through the work of your hands. Then Moses spoke all the words of this song to all the people of Israel. The Song of Moses. Listen, O heavens, and let me speak. Let the earth hear the words of my mouth. Let my teaching fall as the rain, and my voice like the water on the grass in the early morning, like rain upon the new grass, and rain upon the plant. For I will make known the name of the Lord. I will tell of the greatness of God. The rock, his work is perfect. All his ways are right and fair. A God who is faithful and without sin. Right and good is he. They have acted in sin toward him, but they are not his children because the mark of sin is on them. They are bad and sinful people. Is this how you pay the Lord, you foolish people who are not wise? Is he not your father who has bought you? He has made you and given you your place. Remember the days long ago. Think of the years of all people. Ask your father, and he will show you. Ask your leaders, they will tell you. When the Most High divided up the world among the nations, he divided the children of men. He set the place where each nation was to live by the numbers of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's share his people. For the Lord share is his people. He chose the people of Jacob for himself. He found him in a desert land, in the empty waste of a desert. He came around him and cared for him. He kept him, and he would, as he would his own eye, like an eagle that shakes its nest, the flies over its young. He spread his wings and caught them. He carried them on his wings. The Lord alone led him. There was no strange God with him. He made him sit on the high places of the earth, and he ate the food of the field. He made him eat honey from the rock, oil out of hard rock, milk from cows and milk from the flock, the fat of lambs, rams, and Bashan goats, and the best of the grain. And you drank wine of the blood grapes. But Jeshurun grew fat and would not obey. You became fat and full of food. Then he turned away from God, who made him. He hated the rock of his saving power. They made him jealous with strange gods. They made him angry with hated things. They gave gifts to demons who were not God. To gods they have not known, new gods who came later, whom your fathers did not fear. You did not think of the rock who gave you birth. You forgot the God who gave you birth. The Lord saw this and hated them. His sons and daughters made him angry. Then he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be, for they are a sinful people, children who are not faithful. They have made me jealous with what is not God. They have made me angry with their false gods, so I will make them jealous with those who are not a people. I will make them angry with a foolish nation, for a fire is started by my anger. It burns to the very bottom of the place of the dead. It burns up the earth and all that grows on the earth. It burns the base of the mountains. I will send much trouble upon them. I will use my arrows against them. They will be wasted with hunger. They will be destroyed by burning heat and disease. I will send the teeth of wild animals against them with the poison of things moving in the dust. The sword will bring death in the street and bring fear in the homes. I will destroy both young men and young women, the baby and the man with white hair. I would have said, I will cut them to pieces. I will make all people forget about them, but I was afraid that those who hate them would fight in anger against them and would not understand. They would say, we have won with our own strength. The Lord has not done this. Let me read that again. I will make all people forget about them, but I was afraid that those who hate them would fight in anger against them and would not understand. They would say, we have won with our own strength. The Lord has not done this. For they are a nation without wise teaching. There is no understanding in them. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would know their future. How could one run after 1,000? How could two make 10,000 run away unless their rock had sold them and the Lord had given them up? For their rock is not like our rock. Even those who hate us judge this. Their vine is from the vine of Sodom and from the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of poison. Their fruit tastes bitter. Their wine is the poison of snakes that kill. Are they not kept in store with me? Shut in with my stores. Slack. Are they not kept in store with me? Shut in with my stores of riches. It is mine to punish when their foot makes a false step. The day of their trouble is near. Their fall is coming fast upon them. For the Lord will judge his people, and he will have loving pity on his servants when he sees their strength is gone, and none are left of those who are free or of those who are not free. Then he will say, where are their gods? Where is the rock where they went to be safe? Who ate the fat of their burnt gifts and drank the wine of their drink gifts? Let them come and help you. Let them be your hiding place. See now that it is I am he. There is no God except me. It is I who kills and gives life. I hurt and I heal, and there is no one who can take from my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and promise that as I live forever, I will make my shining sword sharp. My hand takes hold of what is right and fair. I will punish those who are against me, and I will punish those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood. My sword will eat flesh with the blood of those who are killed and those who are in prison from the long-haired leaders of those who hate me. Be glad, O nations, with his people, for he will punish because of the blood of his servants. He will punish those who fight against him, and he will take away the sin of his people, and he will take away the sin of his land and his people. Moses came up with Joshua, the son of Nun, and spoke all the words of this song in the ears of the people. When Moses had finished speaking all the words to to all Israel. He said to them, take into your heart all the words I tell you today. Tell them to your children, so they may be careful to do all the words of this law. The word is of great worth to you. It is your very life. By this word you will live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to take. Moses to die on Mount Nebo. The Lord said to Moses the same day, go up to the mountain of Abraham, Mount Nebo, the land of Moab, because beside Jericho. Look at the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel for their own. Then die on the mountain you go up and join your people, as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor and joined his people. This is because you were not faithful to me among the people of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh in the desert of Zin. You did not honor me as holy among the people of Israel. You will see the land from far away, but you will not go into the land I am giving the people of Israel. Moses' last words to Israel. Moses, the man of God, prayed before his death that good will come to the people of Israel. He said, the Lord came from Sinai. He came upon us from Seir. He shined from Mount Paran. He came among 10,000 holy ones. He came with fire at his right hand. Yes, he loves his people. All your holy ones are in your hand. They followed in your steps. They received your word. Moses gave us the law, which belongs to the people of Jacob. The Lord was king in Jeshurun when the leaders of the people were gathered, all the families of Israel together. May Reuben live and not die. Do not let his men be few. About Judah, he said, O Lord, hear the voice of Judah and bring him to his people. He fought for them with his hands. Give him help against those who fight against him. About Levi, he said, let your Thummim and your Aram belong to your man of God. You proved him at Massah and at the waters of Meribah. He said of his father and mother, I do not think of them. He kept himself apart from his brothers and his own children. Yes, they obeyed your word and kept your agreement. Then they will teach your laws to Jacob. They will teach your laws to Israel. They will put special perfume before you and whole burnt gifts on your altar. O Lord, give him good things. Receive the works of his hands. Crush those who go against him and those who hate him, so they may not get up again. About Benjamin, he said, may the one the Lord loves live by him and be safe. The Lord covers him all the day long, and he lives between his shoulders. About Joseph, he said, may the Lord bring good to his land with the best gifts from heaven above, with water and on the grass in the early morning, and from the deep waters below, with the best things from the sun and the best foods of the months. May the Lord bring good to his land with the best things of the old mountains and the best things of the hills that last forever, with the best things of the earth and all that is in it, and the favor of him who lived in the bush. Let these gifts come upon the head of Joseph, upon the crown of the head of the one who is ruler among his brothers. His great power is like the firstborn of his bull. His horns are like the horns of the wild bull. With them he will push all the nations to the ends of the earth. They are the 10,000s of Ephraim and the thousands of Manasseh. About Zebulun he said, "Be full of joy. Zebulun is your going out. Zebulun in your going out. Be full of joy, Issachar, in your tents. They will call the people to the mountain. They will give gifts that are right with God, for they will take out the riches of the seas and the hidden riches of the sand." About Gad he said, "Happy is the one who gives much land to Gad. He lies down like a lion and tears the arm and the crown of the head." He chose the best part for himself, for that was the ruler's share. He came with the leaders of the people. He did what the Lord wanted him to do and obeyed his law with Israel. About Dan he said, "Dan is a young lion that jumps out from Bashan." About Naphtali he said, "O Naphtali, filled with favor and full of the good things of the Lord, take the sea and the south for your own." About Asher he said, "May Asher be given more than the other sons. May he be favored by his brothers. Let him put his foot in oil. Your locks will be iron and brass, and your strength will last like your days. There is none like the God of Jeshurun. He comes through the heavens to help you through the sky. In his great power, the God who lives forever in your safe place. His arms are always under you. He drove away from in front of you those who hate you and said, 'Destroy.' So Israel lives in a safe place, that the well of Jacob is safe. And in a land of grain and new wine, rain falls from his heavens. Happy are you, O Israel, who is like you, a nation saved by the Lord. He is the battle covering who helps you. He is the sword of your great power. So those who hate you will be afraid in front of you, and you will walk upon their high places." The death of Moses. Now Moses went up from the valleys of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah beside Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land, Gilead as far as Dan, all of Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah as far as the sea in the west, the Negev and the plain in the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to him, "This is the land I promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I will give it to your children. I have let you see it. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you will not go there." So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, as the word of the Lord said. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab besides Beth Peor. But no man knows where he is buried to this day. Moses was 120 years old when he died, but his eyes were not weak, and his strength had not left him. The children of Israel cried for Moses in the valley of Moab for 30 days. Then the days of crying and sorrow for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua the son of Nun was filled with the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands on him. So the people of Israel listened to him and did what the Lord had told Moses. There has never been another man who speaks for God in Israel like Moses. The Lord knew him face to face. There has never been another like him, and there has never been another like him who has done all the powerful works the Lord sent to him to do in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh, all his servants, and all his land. There has never been another who has shown all the great power of all the great fear which Moses did for all Israel to see.